Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome into Bettor In-Laws Futures episode part three, where we'll go through the novelty bets, I guess, of futures. You know, all the MVPs and Super Bowl matchups, offensive rookies of the year, all that bullshit we'll go through today. If you have not heard the other podcast, we went through the futures of AFC and NFC in the prior 2 weeks, so be sure to check that out as I adjust my camera here. Speaking of cameras, we are on YouTube. Go on there and subscribe and leave us a comment, and yeah, and be sure to follow us on Spotify and contribute to the comment section, Spotify too, as well, and all that stuff. Anything you can do to help the pod, please do so. Appreciate it very much. Brother-in-law Matt, how we doing?
Doing well, my friend. How's everything going on your end?
Oh, just peachy, just end of the month, and it's just chaotic. And I've literally been nonstop since about 6:30. Not to bitch.
It's awesome. Let's bitch.
Um,
Let's bitch because I could bitch
eh,
about work.
Fine. Nobody wants to hear me bitching.
That's true.
I just, yeah, it's just one of those days where I'm just literally nonstop, and I just got finished with my bowl of slop. I don't know if you've seen this latest lunch trend of local lunch establishments, Matt. But
Hmm.
it's just these places where they literally just serve you a salad in a bowl, but it's really just turned into a bowl of slop. So they put your salad in, you put your greens in, you got your veggies in, you got your chicken in, and it's a bunch of bullshit mixed in there. And at the end of the day, you feel like you're eating just a bowl of slop like a farm animal.
That's what. Yeah. Why not? Let's
$15.
in and out. Everything's more money. So we better cash some bets for the people so they can afford to eat lunch every day.
Yeah.
$15 for a salad. What's happened with this world?
I mean,
That's pretty cheap too.
it is on
Sadly.
the cheaper side. Yeah, 14.97 to be precise.
Oh,
But
beautiful.
it's all these places. It's just literally just a bowl of assorted slop, and you just consume it like a fucking pig, and that's what it is.
You
Like
gotta love it.
it's a trough. Call it what it is. It's in a cardboard, or I don't know what material it is, bowl of slop bullshit.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's what I consumed within 10 minutes, and back at it. But you know what? Let's get after it, because I was actually pretty excited putting this one together. Out of all the futures stuff, I'd say that this category gets my juices flowing the most.
Oh, all right. We got a little happiness out of you. I've had
Uh,
Zin for lunch, by the way, so I'm ready to go.
you can feel it in my plums. If I can find my fucking notes from yesterday
Yeah, you don't need them.
on the old Google Docs. Yeah, ugh. I just jotted down some long shot stuff, and we'll talk about some square stuff
Hmm.
too. Um, if you have any silliness you want to give us, be
Got
sure to
plenty
do
of it.
that too,
Got plenty of it.
Matthew. But let's just run through the categories, and I'll just go through them, and then we'll start one by one and go from
Mhm.
there. And if you have any silliness at the end, feel free to inject that as well. But today we're going to cover, probably in this order, just because of that's how it's listed on DraftKings. MVP, offensive and defensive rookies of the year, offensive and defensive players of the year, coach. First coach fired, I could not find. So if you could find that,
Yep, on it.
that would be tremendous, because I have one guy in mind, and it's probably a square play. Comeback player of the year, and a couple Super Bowl matchups that are making you go, interesting. Maybe
Hmm.
a little sprinkle's worth it there.
All right.
By the way, I'm Tuck Silva, brother-in-law Matt Prisco, in case you're new to us. But let's get right after it. MVP votes, Matt. Uh, the names that I have written down on this Google document that caught my interest,
Mhm.
outside of the square play of Lamar Jackson,
Mhm.
which actually is not a bad bet at plus 550. But
Nope.
these are the names that I jotted down on my Google document. Joe Burrow plus 650, Jordan Love plus 2,500,
Interesting.
and Brock Purdy plus 3,000.
Hmm.
Made me think, of doing a couple sprinkles there.
Okay.
Your reaction?
I don't hate any of them out of the gate. In fact, the one bet that I have placed for MVP is on Joe Burrow at plus 650. We saw what he can do when he puts the team on his back. His key is staying healthy. The defense isn't going to help him so much, so I think he's going to have to be throwing a ton.
No.
With his weapons too on top of it. I'm high on the Bengals right now. Just
Well,
gotta get
especially the fact, and let's see how that Trey Hendrickson
yeah,
situation plays out. I think
totally.
he's going to end up back in Cincinnati, and
Same.
if he does, I expect the odds on them winning the AFC to decrease. Um,
Yeah, I said that
and
went up,
even
but
their Super
that's
Bowl odds.
decreasing.
Well, no, it would decrease,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you're correct in saying that they're going to decrease. They're going to get better. I meant like I'm in on the Bengals if they
Yeah,
sign.
yeah. I'm saying that right though. They decrease
Yes, they're decreasing. Yeah, well, yes,
because
yeah,
if it
because it's
was
a plus number. Yeah,
if it's plus 500 and then Hendrickson, I don't know what the fuck it is, but and then if Hendrickson signs, it would probably shift to like plus 400, so decrease.
yeah, correct,
Yeah, the fuck,
correct.
don't question me.
No, I wasn't questioning you. I was doing the wrong thing. I was thumbs upping and as you're saying decrease, but
I
I
also heard
meant
the sound effect of that. That is usually like a up thing.
yeah, but we're fine. We're good.
The
The people
receiver,
know what we mean.
but the receivers with Cincinnati are inked up. There's no more question marks with T. Higgins or Jamar Chase.
Hmm.
So I think they're going to be ready to go.
Hmm.
And I this is probably my favorite one is Joe Burrow plus
Yeah.
650 out of all of these.
Hmm.
What about the long shots for you though?
Yeah, I think, I think the Niners have a chance with Purdy being plus 3,000. I still think the problem with him is if the Niners end up being good, like I think they will be, I think a lot of that has to do with McCaffrey as well. So he does enough to steal votes. But with MVP, it's a quarterback award at this point, right? But I still think
Yeah.
he'll never get the credit. It
Like
doesn't
even
matter what he does. It
what
really doesn't.
CMC did like 2 years ago, like should have won him MVP and
Oh, no question.
it still
Yeah,
didn't
it didn't matter.
quarterback award.
So, and Purdy was the favorite going into that Christmas game with that Christmas weekend game
Yep.
with the Ravens, and the Ravens beat him, and Lamar won the award. So, like, I think it can happen. I just don't think he gets the respect. There's too many people out there that still think it's everyone around him and not Purdy. I'll beg to differ, but that's for another day. I do like that long shot. The other long shot it's a really long shot. I'm not telling you to bet this. I have not even bet it yet, but just looking at the numbers. If you listen to the AFC show, I do think the Jags have a chance to win the South, get to the playoffs, and in order for them to do that, I think Trevor Lawrence needs to be the guy they thought he was.
Yeah.
Again, that this is a complete long shot, but at plus 4,500, if you believe in the Jags, I think that's worth a small half unit play.
This is crazy to me. Tied with Drake May.
Yeah, tied with Drake May.
That's Drake May should be like plus 6,000. That's
Yeah, he's
crazy to me.
that's not happening. I mean,
Crazy.
he's the improvements in camp, yes, but still, that's a long way to go to MVP.
Second
So
year quarterback.
I look
Talk.
for teams. My strategy with MVP is look for teams that you think are going to make the playoffs and have a legitimate run, and it's a quarterback, and without them, they would not succeed. So those are the big things to look for. You got to put up monster numbers to compete with the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons. So that's why I like Burrow. I think Burrow can, and we'll talk about Burrow throughout the show. But statistically, if Cincy gets there, if Cincy challenges in that AFC North, Joe Burrow's getting that award. I feel pretty good about that at plus 650. I expected the number to be a bit lower,
Yeah.
but I mean, right now it is the MVP award, right? So it's not they're not crazy. Like even Lamar at the favorites plus
I
550.
mean,
So like we're talking about
Joe does have the injury history that goes
yeah,
along
that's the
with
other
it
thing.
too.
Yeah. So
But still, I feel very strong about Joe Burrow this year. Very
yep,
strong.
same.
Um, offensive rookie of the year. I jotted down the square as shit one.
Yeah.
It's terrible value, I think.
Yeah, it is.
But it might pay off. Ashton Genty plus 275. It's as square gets. The other two names that I jotted down were Tet McMillan at plus 1,600 and Jackson Dart at plus 3,500. Those are the ones that interested me.
Okay, Tuck. I will say this. I'm going to give out a play that I've played on every one of these. I've played every one of the categories we're going to talk about today. So,
Can I
um,
guess?
yep,
O'Marion Hampton.
bang, nailed it. Plus 750. I love Hampton. I think I am a big Genty guy. The people that know me, I had a lot of fun watching him in college. He's like a little bowling ball. He's got all the hype in the world. I think he has a chance to be a stud. Um, but I think O'Marion Hampton is so criminally underrated. I know he was a first round pick, so like they're not crazy, but like in college, that guy was insane. He's a very good running back. Played with May for a couple of years there, and then now came out obviously a year after May. Um, the kid's a special talent, and I think he's going to carry over well to the NFL. And running behind Jim Harbaugh's the way he wants to run the ball. That's how they want to. That's how they want to play the Chargers. They
Yeah.
want to run first. That's always how Jim Harbaugh plays. It'll keep Justin Herbert in control. So O'Marion Hampton for me at plus 750 is a play.
Yeah, and I would assume that these odds decreased after the Najee Harris eye injury with the firework incident.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
Even with Harris though, like they're both going to get their touches. But I think the world's about to know Marion Hampton, and I think right now, I do think Harris is a good fit. It's a good 1-2 fit with him
yeah.
playing, but I still think Hampton can be a bell cow if Harris gets hurt or if Harris struggles, like we've seen so many times in Pittsburgh. Like I do think Hampton can be a three down back. He's got good hands. He can play. He can receive. He can block. He does it all. So um, I really like this pick with this number.
So what about the other rookie running backs here with the Broncos with RJ Harvey, going up against often injured J.K. Dobbins there, ended up in Denver. And then the Steelers, Caleb Johnson. So Harvey is plus 2,500 and Caleb Johnson is plus 3,000.
The
And
one thing with
for
Harvey, oh
you.
sorry, I
No,
meant to
no,
cut you off.
no, it's fine.
Harvey, I didn't. The one thing with Harvey is they have like 22 running backs there, and like he'll get his touches, but like they have McLaughlin, they have Harvey, they have Tyler Beatty, they have Audric
Right.
Estime, they have like there's so many guys in Denver that are going to touch the ball on any given week. Obviously, they all won't be activated, and all of them probably won't even be on the roster by week one. But at the end of the day, like there's so many backs there in Denver. I think that hurts him a little bit. A guy that I really liked before he got arrested was Quinshon Junkins. I thought that was a great pick by Cleveland. I thought he would end up being their number one back. Now he's got all the legal trouble, so stay away from that one for me at plus 3,000. However, if we did the show a few weeks ago before he got arrested, he might have been one of the guys I bet. I had not locked in anyone at that
What did you
point.
get arrested for? I didn't even see this.
Domestic shit.
Ah,
And it's most likely because you get drafted by the Browns, and that's just the way their luck works. But turns you into an asshole, I guess, right out of the gate. Uh, but that kid is a special talent, but also now a lunatic. So good luck there. I think the hype will be around Travis Hunter, just because he plays both ways. But I wouldn't at plus 1,000. He'll always have hype with him. I don't love that. McMillan's an interesting one at plus 1,600. I know you mentioned that. Um, he's going to be the one receiver for the Panthers. Can he put up big numbers? We'll see.
yeah.
Still interesting how they'll get going. The good thing about when Bryce Young turned it around, he had Thielen playing out of his mind, but he was throwing to the open guy, not forcing the ball down anyone's throat. So hopefully he just keeps throwing to the open guy. I think that I like the number, but I don't think it's probably going to happen. So really, though, I think it's a two-horse race. I mean, the other thing too is like let's not throw out Cam Ward. Um, I think Cam Ward's going to be good. I talked about the Titans and the AFC show.
Yeah,
Like
it's him now with whole Levis
this
injury.
this can also be a quarterback award.
Hmm?
So let's not rule that out. I think this is definitely one though that a running back or receiver can win. So it's not totally out of the question. It's not like the MVP, but I don't want to throw Ward out. He's plus 350. It's not bad value actually for having the number one pick and a quarterback who's going to be chucking the ball around. If the Titans can win some games with Ward, I think he'll have some special games. So
I
he's
mean,
not terrible.
the last 2 years of offensive rookie of the year was Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud.
Yep.
Um,
So
so it is sneaky quarterback only award. Um, Before we move on to the next category, and we won't spend a ton of time on it, but remind me at the end to ask the audience something.
yeah.
A potential future podcast. I just forgot to mention that. So remind me
Okay.
at the end. ask audience some shit. Okay.
Okay, I'll do my very best to remember that.
All right. Defensive rookie of the year, a couple names I jotted down that are getting rave reviews in training camp to this point. Mike Green of the Ravens plus 1,200 on his pass rush and commitment. And you saw that he dropped in the draft due to character issues, but he's getting rave reviews at camp. And then James Pierce Jr. plus 1,600, also guy who's getting high praise at camp. And Jalen Walker of the Falcons is missing some time due to some sort of injury situation. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be too serious, but nonetheless, he's missing time. So another Falcons rookie and James Pierce gets my attention. The square play is, or the favorite, I should say, is Abdul Carter plus 250, followed by Travis Hunter at plus 800. So, what's catching your attention, Matt?
Said it on the NFC show. I love Jalen Walker. He's my favorite player in this draft. I bet him at plus 1,000, like the odds. I know he's coming in with a little bit of an injury, but like you said, nothing too serious. He'll be ready to rock and roll. He was, again, my favorite player in this draft. Um, Coming off, can play, can get to the quarterback, can hit you hard as a linebacker. Like he's just an all around player. You'll see him his speed all over the field. This kid can really play. Atlanta's needed this type of player on defense for years. They finally went out and got him. He fell to him. I was hoping the Niners were going to take him. They took Michael Williams, who I'm fine with. They finally addressed the other side of the ball with Nick Bosa. Um, the guys you mentioned, the thing about Green and Pierce is like they get to play with these a bunch of stud players around, and these are things that open up the opportunities for guys like them to go in and make a name for themselves, sacking the quarterback, right? Sacks own these awards recently, so both are decent plays. Especially, I mean, this one is plus 1,200, plus 1,600. You see Abdul Qadir, as you mentioned, plus 250 is the favorite. Not great value there, but can see why. He's another guy that gets to the quarterback. I'm interested in Carter. I think he's a little bit smaller than your typical, you know, favorite, but man, the kid is he's a talent. So we'll see what goes on there. But my play was Jalen Walker plus 1,000. I thought
Yeah,
the odds there are just too good to
yeah,
pass up.
I like Walker too. I just saw the whole. I didn't know what to make of the health situation,
Yeah, yeah,
so
for sure.
I just went with the guy who's what was he, a second round pick, James Pierce Jr.'s
Yeah.
another added much needed pass rusher to that Atlanta defense. So I went
Yep.
that route, the longer
Hmm.
shot.
Yep.
But I like Jalen Walker as well. Offensive player of the year, the favorite, Saquon Barkley at plus 650, followed by Jamar Chase at plus 950. And that would be my pick if I had to pick any. If I like Joe Burrow as MVP, I'm going to go with his number one target in Jamar Chase, who I think he's going to have a career year. And that's saying a lot if it's Jamar Chase. Other longer shot plays that interest me were CD Lamb at plus 2,000. New offensive minded head coach with Schottenheimer there. You added George Pickens in the offseason to take away some attention, at least defensive attention, off of CD Lamb, take some pressure off of there, and he could be in for a massive year. What's his third or fourth year, CD Lamb? Um, I always like
It is his.
targeting the younger players who are 3 or 4 years under their belt at that point.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, he's still young. Plus
Hmm.
2,000 for CD Lamb. And the other guy, think he's in for a monster year again, is CMC at plus 2,200. Those are the guys who caught my attention.
Well, for the first time, Tuck, I have a different bet on this one than guys you had mentioned in yours. Give me Bijan Robinson here. I played this one at plus 1,400. I think we're finally going to get the Bijan Robinson year. We've seen many good games from Bijan, right? But I
Yeah.
think he actually puts it together for a full season. I think a lot of that has to do with quarterback play. I told you I like Penix um, better than anything they've had since he's been there, and I think that's going to be a difference maker for him. He's going to help open things up. I think he's going to be a monster, both running and catching. The guy's just an elite talent behind there. I think he's the
I
best
think he
running
had
back
10
in
of catches
football.
this year.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. So I really like him at plus 1,400. That felt like an absolute steal. Um, I just really like that number.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs at plus 1,200 is another guy that I think you're going to see take off. They came in the same year. More Gibbs, less Montgomery, in my opinion, you're going to see in Detroit, and I think they should do that. It's time to. Yeah, it's still a good 1-2 punch, but time to let open up the Jahmyr Gibbs show for Detroit. I think they're going to need to do that a little bit more this year. Um, but yeah, other guys you mentioned, I'm in with you on. I love Chase at plus 950 for the reasons you said, just to throw that out there. But my best play on this one is I'm going with Robinson. I just think that talent there, that team in general, I really like Atlanta. I like what they did on defense through the draft. And I think their offense has been talented enough. I think the quarterback's been the issue. So I believe in Penix to take that step, at least not like a major step, but enough to get them in the
Yeah.
right direction and move that football.
Let me throw one more long ass shot at you. As I'm just scrolling here, and this is just off the cuff.
Mhm.
Brock Bowers plus 6,000.
Yeah, he's a talent. To win the award as a tight end would
I mean,
be
look what he did.
unprecedented.
Look what
I
he
know.
did last year with that shitbag quarterback situation. And now you
It's
got
true.
a respectable one in Geno Smith and a Hall of Fame head coach with Pete Carroll. Um, I don't
Yeah.
know. Plus 6,000 might be worth a little sprinkle.
My long shot that I would say is to take a worth a look, but I don't like the team at all. Is Devon A. Chain at plus 5,000? That guy,
Yeah.
when Tua was healthy, I was going to talk about this later in the show because I did play him as a in a long shot in another category.
Hmm.
When Raheem Mostert wasn't on the field last year, well, they don't have Mostert to begin with, so let's start there. Like he's
You got
gone.
Jalen Wright and
Yeah, which
another.
I'm good. I'm good with Jalen Wright. This is the A Chain show this year.
Yep.
When Tua was healthy, though, they played 11 games together, and he averaged just about 19, or just over 19 touches a game. He was on pace to be the number one running back in fantasy last year when Tua was playing. There's a realistic chance that this guy could threaten 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving the way they use him. So he could put up absolute monster numbers. I just hate the Dolphins as a team, so I don't know if they'll end up getting that award, but he is someone that if you're looking for a long shot, I think he has a real chance to be to be over 2,000 yards and really put up some crazy numbers in Miami.
Defensive player of the year, looking at a couple third year players who could really take a major stride forward here. The favorite, by the way, is Aiden Hutchinson and plus 650. Guys like Micah Parsons plus 750, Miles Garrett plus 850, TJ Watt plus 950. But the fourth guy on this list I'm looking at, Will Anderson Jr., plus 1,300, third year player. I think you can take a major stride forward. I mentioned on the NFC podcast we did, I love Jared Verse, plus 1,500 as well, second year guy. And then a longer shot uh, defensive back is getting my attention too. And I'm looking at Kyle Hamilton at plus 5,000, another third year guy of the Ravens. If the Ravens go far, I think it's going to be mostly not a good amount of credit, at least on the defensive front, should be given to Kyle Hamilton if they do go far. I think he's an underrated playmaker.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. You know what's funny about this list is with Hutchinson and Parsons at the top. It's Hutchinson. I said last week that I didn't care so much about Hutchinson. I coming off that injury, like he's an unbelievable player. To be
Yeah,
the favorite in this category seems crazy to me. Coming off that injury, we'll
yeah.
see.
Seems
And then
aggressive.
Parsons with the contract stuff going on in Dallas. It's I avoid those things when you're talking about awards because they can trickle into the regular season even if they get deals done. Being ready, what do you see? Players typically don't come out firing on all cylinders after those things. Now, maybe they'll be different. Who knows? But interesting to see them at the top. The guy I played, you mentioned, we've been talking about him. Jared Verse plus 1,500. This kid is a monster. He was a monster at Florida State. Really good player, and the way he fits into that young Rams defense is just awesome. Scares the hell out of me as a Niners fan, if I'm being realistic about it. I think he's a complete difference maker in a football game. Gets pressure consistently on the quarterback, can play the run well. Not really any holes in his game. At plus 1,500, that's a crazy number to me, especially because I think the Rams will make the playoffs, be successful, challenge in the NFC West. So that was the bet I made on this one.
Okay, good.
Um,
Same page.
yep. For a long shot, I looked at guys like Derek Stingley Jr., who I really like. I think he's one of the best cornerbacks in football, and I think he's criminally underrated, though I don't think he's going to win the award. Patrick Surtain, another corner, plus 4,000. That defense is going to
Last
be
year.
the best in football. Um,
Won it last year, though.
yeah, I know, but still, I mean, he is just unbelievable. So, and to repeat is tough. I get that, but at the end of the day, that defense is elite.
Hmm.
And he's the best player on it. So when I see that at plus 4,000, even if he won last year, like that's still crazy odds to me. I know you'll probably get more of a guy that's going to sack the quarterback, but if Surtain, the one thing about Surtain that you got to be careful of how much do they challenge him at this point? How much are you throwing at him? Is he just going to wipe out a receiver on one side of the field every game and take minimal shots at him so his numbers don't project as high as they ended up being last year? So those are things that just be wary of. Probably why the numbers are plus 4,000, but overall, those are some long shot things. Again, didn't play him. The only thing I did play is Verse at plus 1,500.
Coach of the year, the square play that I am biased about and love, given the number, is Mike Vrabel at plus 600 to turn around a organization that's been reeling in just a total shit show the past couple of years with the Patriots. Plus 600 is a good number for Vrabel there. Other guys that I jotted down, Dave Canales plus 1,600 of the Panthers. Raheem Morris plus 3,000 with the Falcons. I think that's pretty good. And then Kevin O'Connell plus 4,000 with the Vikings. Those are the
Yeah,
guys I jotted down.
yeah. I like two plays here, and O'Connell's one of them. You see a plus 4,500 right now in DraftKings like that.
Oh,
That is crazy high. I think a lot of people expect Minnesota to fall back. We talked about this a little bit. I think they'll be just fine with McCarthy there and rolling in. But the guy I played is Jim Harbaugh plus 1,800. Again, just get the chart. If the Chargers can win the AFC West, like I think they actually can do, that number's crazy. And
especially
if
beating
they,
for the division
yeah,
potentially.
and that division's also awesome. So like on top of beating Mahomes and the Chiefs, taking their crown if they can do this, like which I'm putting some futures on that they can. I gotta play Harbaugh at plus 1,800. That's just a crazy number. He gets the love anyways, just being Jim Harbaugh. People love him, and just being able to take that team, beat Patrick Mahomes. I think that's enough right there to win the AFC West.
Yeah.
Would be enough if they win the West. I'd have a hard time believing he can't win it. The other guy I think is worth a sprinkle is Matt LaFleur plus 2,000. The Packers are just a constant team that they just get it done. Do
Still a
think
young.
they win that division.
Yep.
Again, a nice value number there. I did not play that one, but that is probably one that I will also sprinkle on.
You got to help me out with this next category. First coach fired, and the only name that comes to my mind is Mike McDaniel of
I
the
knew
Miami
you were going to
Dolphins.
say that.
Yeah, and
He's
he's got to
second.
be. Yeah, who's
He's
number one?
second. Brian Dayball plus 400,
Huh. So what's McDaniel at? Like plus 650 or something?
plus 500.
Okay.
Shane Steichen plus 600, Stefanski at 700, Canales at 750. Um,
What do you
one
like?
that's interesting. Um, yeah, I bet Mike McDaniel plus 500. That was one that I did play.
I mean, they
Um,
just lost their cornerback
I mean
today.
they're in shambles that team, and they really are.
A
It gets
bottom
worse
five.
by the day over there.
Could be a bottom
Um,
five team, honestly.
I do believe they will be. And the other teams are kind of expected. I don't think Stefanski's the problem in Cleveland. I think he's a
He would
good
have been
coach.
fired
I
already.
mean, agree. I don't agree with him being the fourth favorite here. Um, the interesting one to me would be Zach Taylor. Like if the Bengals get off to yet another terrible start, like
Ooh,
they do year after year after year at plus 900.
ooh.
I didn't bet this, but that would be interesting because I think he is the weak link to that team. And the defense is really a problem, but they have addressed it. They finally got Shamar Stewart to sign his rookie deal, whatever the hell they were doing with that. Um, Hopefully they get Trey Hendrickson back. If they do, I think they've done enough. But if that team comes out slow, they start 0-2 under Zach Taylor every single year. So if this happens again, do not be surprised because this guy, again, I do think he's a huge weak link to that team. I think if they had a legitimate football coach,
Yeah.
this team would be completely different. So that's one that I'd keep an eye on. But I did bet Mike McDaniel just because the Miami Dolphins are so bad.
I'd be stunned if he wasn't the first coach fired, honestly.
Yeah.
He should be the favorite. And I guess you could understand the Brian
I
Daboll.
get the day bowl thing. I mean, if he doesn't win,
They
and
could have fired him last year then,
they
right?
could have. Yeah, they
Yeah.
could have. But I think they believe in him. I agree. Like I still think Daboll's a good coach. He's in a real tough situation there in New York with the quarterback situation, but he got his guy.
Mhm.
So they went out and signed Russ. He drafted Dart. They moved up. If they don't win games this year, he's gone.
Comeback player of the year favorite is tied at Dak Prescott and Aiden Hutchinson at plus 275. I wrote down CMC at plus 370. JJ McCarthy at plus 1,000, although he never really came back because he never played,
Technically,
but I still like it.
can win the award though.
And Steph Diggs plus 2,500.
Funny Tuck, I this is the one that I did put two bets on. And you mentioned both guys. I'm on McCaffrey at plus 370. He stays healthy. He looks awesome in camp already. Uh, he's flying around. He's got all his speed back. He finally looks like himself after that weird knee year that he had. And JJ McCarthy at plus 1,000. Again, I believe in
Okay.
him. Those odds are crazy. He's a quarterback. If he puts up good numbers, that team gets to the playoffs. Hard to think that he wouldn't be at least a candidate to win that award come the end of the season.
Any other long shots on this one or no?
Those were the two I played. I really don't have long shots on this
Up
one.
for
Just looking at the
6,000.
list. Cooper Cup, I just think he's going to
Yeah,
slow down. I don't love him in Seattle.
kind of cat.
Um, I don't love the fit. And to be fair, like I think Olave's got great numbers. I don't think he can stay healthy. I don't think he's the quarterback. So Rishi Rice is obviously already suspended. So that good
Give it to
luck.
him. No,
Like,
they
and
won't
they're
give it.
not going to give him any publicity he doesn't need.
Chris Godwin plus 4,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it. Interesting. Crosby's on the list because you know, like he could be a monster too at plus 2,500, but
When did he even get hurt?
get banged up in the second half of the year. He was out.
Uh,
So like that
okay.
could be one if you're looking for a long shot at 2,500.
Yeah.
Um, he's a guy because he will put up numbers, no question. So as long as he stays healthy.
Um. All right. Super Bowl matchups that I jotted down here. I couldn't find many on the Bengals, but
Mhm.
you might have to help me out on that. I like Bengals and Eagles. I like Bengals and Niners. I like that. For some reason, I couldn't find that, but the ones that I have here are Ravens and Niners plus 4,000 rematch. Ravens and Packers plus 4,000. Chargers and Eagles plus 6,500.
Yep. Hold on, I'm scrolling to it on DraftKings right
I don't know why I
now.
couldn't find the Bengals shit.
Hold on. Where the hell is this on DraftKings? I know I had it because I bet it.
I'll look. What did you have?
I bet one thing so far.
One thing.
One thing. And then my two picks to win the
That's a
Super
good thing,
Bowl.
I think.
Yeah. We're starting it with Baltimore in the AFC. I think they get over the hump this year. I like what they've done with the defense. They were so close. A Mark Andrews drop
Mm.
kept them from beating Buffalo, and oh God, I thought they were finally lined up to take out Kansas City last year. So in that what would have been an awesome rematch. Though we got a good game anyways with Buffalo KC. But end of the day, I think Baltimore gets over the hump in the AFC finally. Um, that's that's where I am at with them. And the NFC side, I know this is going to sound like I'm a fan, but I've been telling you my reasons on this for a long time. Um, and I think the Niners are going to get there. I think that both of these teams I bet to win the Super Bowl, by the way, the Ravens and the Niners. The Ravens are plus 600 to win it. But the Niners are absolutely worth the sprinkle at plus 2,000. Those are crazy numbers to me. They're going to
Wow.
be there. They have a legitimate chance. The one thing is they're pretty banged up at receiver going into the year. I still think that's okay as long as they have Christian McCaffrey, healthy George Kittle. They have enough wide receivers that'll get them through the beginning. And it's all about that defense to me. Everything I've said about what they've done on the defensive side of the ball, starting at the top, bringing Robert Saleh back, is such a difference maker for that team. This is the first year I've put money on the Niners to win the Super Bowl. Um, That's not true. I did it like 2 years ago, but I did it as a fan. I wasn't giving it out at anything. But they were plus 1,000 at that point. But this is the first year I feel like this is absolutely worth the price. At plus 2,000, this is a team that could win a lot of football games, play home field playoff games, and if they have to go on the road, they're built to go on the road. Defensive first, can run the ball. Couple different running backs. If McCaffrey does get hurt, I have faith in Garendo. I have faith in Jordan James, the rookie who's been putting on a show in camp so far. Um, I don't care if it's me and you playing running back for Kyle Shanahan and his system. He'll get you to run for a good number. So I just think from a value standpoint, Ravens, Niners, both of those teams I've bet to
Well,
win the Super Bowl.
so if you bet both those teams to win the Super Bowl, just play the matchups thing I gave out. Ravens and Niners plus 4,000.
Yeah, I've also played that. That was the one I
Yeah,
played too.
yeah.
Played
All
all
right.
three. Those are the
Look at
sweep.
us. Look
Look
at
at
us. We're
us.
kind of on the same page for those.
Scary, isn't it? It's
Several of
probably
these.
not good.
Either really good or really bad for the podcast.
Niners bottom five pick. Sick.
No, they'll be good. They'll be good.
They better be. My mental health's on the line.
Any other categories that you wanted to cover here?
Well, I know we
Make
were
the
going to talk
playoffs,
about.
miss the playoffs, maybe.
I got make the playoffs. I bet three teams to make the playoffs. In the teams I was going to give out on the show here are all plus numbers. So teams that aren't like I'm not going to tell you to go bet the Ravens to make the playoffs, like
Yeah, it's
minus 2,000 or whatever the hell it is. Um, Atlanta. Think you see a theme. Think Atlanta gets the job done. I like them at plus 155. These should kind of be obvious considering if you've listened to the show at all, the previous two shows, teams I think that can make the playoffs are worth a number. The Jags at plus 180. I think they have a chance to win that division. Never mind, just make the playoffs. So taking a shot with the Jags. And then the shot, and my longest shot that I played to make the playoffs is the Carolina Panthers at plus 230.
oh,
Again, can they do it? We'll see. It is a little bit more of a stretch, but still think that's pretty good value for a team playing in an average division and was trending in the right direction at the end of last year. And I like the moves they made. The defense is going to be the question yet again. And as long as Bryce Young obviously continues to play the way he played at the end of last year, which I do believe he will, I think that number's pretty solid. Plus 230 to make the playoffs, I feel like is worth a play.
how about to miss the playoffs in terms of plus money? A lot of negative numbers here, but
Let's see. Did I bet anything to miss the
how
playoffs?
about this? I'll give you two names, and I'm
Uh,
just
Oh, I did bet one.
riffing. Detroit Lions plus 155,
Mm-hmm.
Washington Commanders plus 130. Those jump
Okay.
out. Those jump out to me.
The one I bet is Tampa at plus 140. If I like Atlanta and I like Carolina, I gotta have and there's not three teams from the NFC South making the playoffs. So I played a trend there. I could be completely wrong. This is one of the harder divisions in football to figure out who's going to be actually good or not. It could just be a bucket of shit and they all finish around 500. But um, Tampa getting a plus number at 140. I mean, I like their offense, and I think they can. I mean, Baker, I've been impressed with, but they don't also jump off the paper. Like if I see them on the schedule, I don't chalk them up as an automatic win, hit or loss. So I look for things like that. That one is the team that I have bet to miss the playoffs as a plus number so far.
Any other categories that jump out to you, or anything crazy nuts that you want to touch on?
Couple other things that that I did bet that we might have talked about or might not, or most season passing yards. Who's going to finish for most regular season passing yards,
Yeah, we could
rushing
have done
yards, and
that. I
receiving?
didn't really go down that road, but
Yeah, that's fine.
what do you
Gave
have?
out a couple. It aligns to what we talked about, at least with Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow at plus 500 to lead the
Wow.
league in passing yards is worth a play.
What about touchdown?
Um, I did not do touchdowns actually, but I can take a look at what that looks
Don't worry
like.
about it.
That's right here. So, um,
You got the theme though. We like Joe Burrow is what
we
we're
like
trying.
Joe Burrow. We like Joe Burrow.
Rushing touchdowns, lead the league in those too, probably. You
Yeah,
know,
Burrow. Yeah, lead the league in rushing, probably 20 touchdowns. I heard they're going read option this year in camp. I don't know. We'll see.
no.
No, I'm kidding. For regular season rushing, I said this earlier, but I'm taking a swing here, smaller play, but Devon A. Chain plus 1100. I think if he can stay healthy, someone's got to do something in Miami, and I think he's got an opportunity to be that guy. We'll see. That's a longer shot play at plus 1100. I just
Yeah,
think the value on that number is too high. I like that. Otherwise, I'd say it's probably going to be Bijan, as he clearly came out and said the other day. I don't know if you saw that clip. They asked him, "How do you say your name?" Everyone says Bijan. He's like, "It's actually Bijan." So now I have
why
to
wouldn't they ask him
change.
that last year
I
or
don't know
2 years ago when he was
who
a
the
fucking
hell
rookie?
was saying that. I don't even know. I saw it on Twitter though. He says you can call me whatever, but it is pronounced Bijan. So
You can call me
try
whatever.
that. Call me that. Most regular season receiving yards. I went with CD Lamb plus 1,000. I think with George Pickens being there, if Dak can stay healthy, they still have Ferguson. They got some weapons there. It's just going to open up Lamb. He does it all with. I mean, what was he doing with like? I mean, Chase is the obvious here, but like, and I wouldn't be stunned if it is Chase, but plus 1,000 for CD Lamb. I mean, the guy was
Yeah,
making Cooper Rush look like a top 10 quarterback at times last year.
I had him for
Um,
offensive player of the year.
yeah, I really like Lamb. I think he can put up huge numbers. It's finally having that second wide receiver threat in the building. That doesn't mean I think the teams take their eye off CD Lamb. I'm not saying that, but eventually you'll have to like if Pickens can stay healthy and keep his head on straight, like that can open up things a tiny bit more for CD, and he doesn't need anything else. So I think there's an opportunity there for him to have a monster year in Dallas. So plus 1,000 for Lamb was the other bet that I made.
All right, cool. Um,
You
any
wanted me to remind you
yes,
about a
yes,
future
you want to go.
podcast.
So you and I have talked about this. I just don't know if there's any value to it in terms of before the season
Hmm.
or at any point during the season. Ideally, it would be, because we have the Cape vacation coming up here.
Yeah.
Um, is there any interest out there? And you got to tell us in the comments or whether it's Spotify or YouTube. Spotify is all about comments lately, by the
Mm.
way. They're like really, I get like emails from them like once a week, and they're really pushing people to like make
Ah,
comments, which is interesting to me.
okay.
I think they want to be like a YouTube because they're pushing video too.
For
But I
podcast. Yeah.
don't
Oh,
see,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did see that.
I don't see why there's any video benefit to Spotify because 9 out of 10 people either listen to this on their car or their laptop or
They could just start posting lyrics as you're just driving
like
down the street.
yeah. So I don't really see the. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see a ton of benefit to video on Spotify. That's why I'm
Mhm.
on YouTube. But maybe I'm wrong. Nonetheless, they're pushing comments. So I want to hear from you guys out there. Do you have any uh interest in us doing a brownout episode?
Brownout.
And I don't even know what we would do
I do.
besides brown out. Um
Player
well,
props.
I don't want to blackout. Like that's not a thing. That's not
I
gonna
do. I do. I will be legless.
But like number one, like I don't want it to be a stupid long podcast.
Two
Uh
hours.
we could easily do that.
Two
No doubt.
hours. Just
Number two is I don't know like how to even approach it. Like, do we just like let the audio roll and whatever happens happens?
that's
Obviously,
great.
we would talk football, but like, should we watch like a preseason game and just
Preseason. Yeah, I was
comment
just gonna
on it?
say give a preseason card. And we could do player props. Like we were talking about like pass TDs. Josh Allen right now is regular season pass TDs over under 27 and a half. We could go through that, see what we like on those values, but we'll give
Yeah,
you the bets we made. Just be blackout drunk.
I just I don't know if there's any interest at all. It's just like it's either like you're on one side like who gives a shit, or number two like yeah that would actually be pretty funny. Um, I don't know. Let us know.
I have
We've
lots
just
of
been
thoughts,
mulling it
so
for a while, and there's logistics we have to go through
yeah, we get a lot of drinking to do to prep for that.
to even make it
I
work.
think I think we could make
Um,
that happen.
yeah, we'll mull it, but let us know if there's any interest or if you have any angles that you think could be of interest that we could talk about too. Um,
So what's the plan for the show for the rest of the off season? Like is this what do you
I don't know. We take a
well,
mini
either.
break. Take a mini break.
Mini break. I'm on the under tomorrow. 33 and a half officially locked in.
Is that tomorrow? The Hall of
Yeah,
Fame
tomorrow
game?
night Hall of Fame game. Trey Lance starting for the Chargers.
Oh, he's still employed.
Yeah, Chargers. He actually played pretty well week 18. He actually killed me in the.
All right, Trey Lance on the Chargers is kind of interests me. With Harbaugh. Huh.
Yeah, we'll
You
see
see
what he
Mike
does.
Williams retired?
Mike Williams, right after I said, yeah, but that's okay. He was like a fourth receiver for them, anyways, so we're fine.
So they
Everything's
got,
fine.
why am I blanking out on the Chargers right now? They got Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, he looks good, by the way.
Yeah, he does.
If
I
he's
actually
dropping
like him.
every pass in training camp,
Oh, is he really?
dude, it's so bad.
Had McConkey. Uh,
McConkey, star.
I couldn't even name you the Josh Palmer. Is he still
You,
there, or did he
you
sign?
know, you know, you know, you got this.
No, I don't
Well, we
know.
got Quentin Johnson. No, they don't have.
Yeah, Palmer signed
Palmer's
elsewhere.
gone. Yeah, Palmer's gone. They
Couldn't even tell
signed
you.
rookie Trey Harris out of Ole Miss,
Okay.
who was one of my favorite receivers coming into the draft. So really like him. They had another rookie. The hell was his
Couldn't
name?
tell you their tight end. I have no idea.
Keandre Lambert Smith. Will Disley signed in with the Chargers. I think
He
he's
got,
starting. They have Conklin too, I believe. They went
uh,
Disley and Conklin. They are going 1-2 there.
that's just been a black hole in with the Chargers as tight end. Like
Yeah,
they
I feel like they're
got
both like solid players, but
a
you're not
bunch of
getting not fantasy guys by any means,
yeah.
But Disley can do the job. Conklin can be fine.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, Jalen Rager's there. Well,
yeah,
that
well, for
solves
now,
everything.
camp body. Keandre Lambert Smith is the guy I was thinking of. He's
Yeah.
there as well, another rookie. So two guys, they're young at receiver,
And who are
but they
they
got
playing?
McConkey. Quentin Johnson just has to friggin' catch the ball.
Who are they
Like,
playing tomorrow?
figure it out. Lions. Give me the Chargers. I'm gonna start hating the Lions tomorrow. I bet the Chargers too. What's the line? I think it's like one and a
David
half.
Blow still there with Detroit.
Detroit. Who is starting for Detroit? It won't be God. You're not
And
going to see any.
it's Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen.
Oh, is he still there? Hendon Hooker? Good God. Yeah, that's right. Hendon Hooker. Yeah, we'll get the Hendon Hooker, Craig
Another.
Reynolds show tomorrow for the Lions in the first quarter.
Mm.
What's better than that? What's better than the Hall of Fame game? Just the extra preseason game that they don't even think about
I
there.
I told you this, dude. I put it on just to like get the feels for football,
Yeah,
and I turned it off within 2 minutes. I'm like, I'm
yeah.
good. Thank
I'll
you.
I'll be locked in the whole game.
Can't do it. I'm sure
I'm locked in on
you
the
probably
under, just
live
rooting
bet it.
for nothing to happen the entire game. Um,
The under's the way to go.
it is. I mean, that's a lot of
Um,
points.
all right. Well, that'll do it for this edition. Let us know again if you're interested in the brownout episode, and we'll consider it.
Consider it.
Any other, and if there's any other area you want us to cover before the season begins, we can consider that as well. But again, subscribe, like us on socials, YouTube, Spotify, all that. Anything you do in the comments, both on YouTube and Spotify, will help. And follow us and all that stuff. Whatever you can do to help us, we appreciate it. That'll do it for us, and we'll keep you updated on the next episode here. And good luck, everybody.
See ya.